Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the VG Purist. I'll be coming at you with some Season 4 action for the Cabal Vision Champions Cup playoffs. And we are going to be checking out the quarterfinals. And as you can see here on the brackets, we have all of the teams ready to rock. Saviors of Athaloran, the Wood Elf team, taking on Hockey Hawkins, the High Elf team. And then the Chaos team, Brainless Chaos, taking on the Bretonnian team, Buckets. And then the Skaven team, Rats, will be taking on the Lizard team of Superstars, Dita. And then the Dark Elf team of Ascalafos taking on the Dwarf team of Bantbus Replacement Service. But first, today we are going to be checking out this Chaos team taking on a Bretonnian team. Both of which are pretty, I'd say pretty about even for today's match. But definitely I did go and prefer the Chaos team in winning for today's match, but we'll see what is going to be transpiring on the pitch, because you never know. Nuffle, he's a fickle beast, and you never know what's gonna come out on the pitch. That is why we play this game. It's not a done deal. Bretonnians do have some teeth. He's got a couple of guys there that definitely could give the Chaos team a big run for the money. And also, Bretonnian team also known to being a anti-bash team, which is exactly what this Chaos team's all about. But first, yes, Chaos team's going to be coached by JimmyFantastic, the Brainless Chaos. And he will be taking on this Bretonnian team coached by DemonTed, Buckets. And in the first round, the Buckets of the Bretonnian team did take out the Human team. And it was a fairly close match, but definitely one in which could have been more towards the Bretonnian side, but definitely we are at where we see today. As you can see on the kickoff, the Buckets are going to go and choose to receive the match, and we are going to be checking out everybody's skill, and we are going to be starting off with JimmyFantastic. We will have a wizard for today's match, because I guess why not? It's like there's going to be a security gate on this pitch, right, and pitch invasions will be negated, so that's going to be very nice for both sides. Let's go ahead and take out the Chaos team. Tackle, wrestle with the Frenzy, Beastman there, and then Chaos Warriors, that's right guys, Claw, Mighty Blow with the piling on for that Chaos Warrior. This one here with the guard, and JimmyFantastic is going to be coming into this game down a Chaos Warrior. And so he'll only have 3 for today's match, and he's going to have only the one with the block Chaos Warrior to come in. At least he has block, but not as nice as having a Claw piling on Mighty Blow Man in the mix. And then the rest of the Beastmen here, he's going to have more block there. Tackle with the block and Mighty Blow for that Beastman. And so another one here with a block and guard, and on the sidelines there, Sure Hands with the block for that Beastman. Definitely the Chaos team not as dangerous, but still, given that it's piloted by JimmyFantastic, oh man, better get ready for some solid grind you down, grind you out Blood Bowl. But the Bretonnian team definitely up for the task, because he himself has some knights with the Mighty Blow piling on, and then the Wrestle Tackle, and then dirty players here to boot. Wrestle for this blocker there, and more dirty player for the Yeoman there, and actually for the, oh gosh, I keep mixing them up. It's really because of my tabletop days. Somebody kept mixing them up themselves, and then caused me to mix them both up, so that's kind of what happened there. But yeah, the Peasants there is going to have a block and fend ability, and also the other Yeoman here, guard with that wrestle, and then the knight with the tackle, +1 movement allowance and the dodge, as well as having these knights there, also more dodge, sidestep, and definitely when they had the access to the agility skills, lots of people definitely say, hey look, let's give them dodge, then there'll be blodge guys on the pitch, and they'll be very difficult to stop. And then with sidestep, even more difficult. +1 in strength, knight here, and then another knight with that leader ability with the blodge skill. Definitely going to be useful for today's match. Bretonnian team's going to have 3 more peasants to come in for replacement, just in case. And that might actually be the difference. This should be a bit of a close match, but Chaos team, I definitely like their chances for today. So let's see here. We are definitely going to see a bribe in the midst for DemonTed's Bretonnian team. Extremely useful against the Chaos team. Loads of the Beastmen there with the armor value 8, so you can definitely take advantage and maybe be able to take them out. And since there's only going to be 3 Chaos Warriors on the pitch, no need to really worry about too much strength there on the pitch, and no Minotaur to speak of for this Chaos team. But the difference might be this Wizard in hand for JimmyFantastic, and may come into play and turn things around in just the nick of time. But first, the Bretonnian team is going to get the ball first. Brimless Chaos is going to get a nice little reroll to boot, and we are on the way. So now the Bretonnian team here just needs to play it solid himself. And honestly, with a bunch of guys with the wrestle and also the lineman with Fend, don't have to worry about getting piling on afterwards, and you don't need to worry about getting hit too hard. So this is not as bad on paper when you think about it. There we go, KO on that Beastman, and that's exactly what I'm talking about here. Beastman with the armor value 8, they're a little bit susceptible to themselves to getting hit. Not too much, but definitely going to be something here to consider. And that's precisely why the Bretonnian team did go with the extra bribe here for today's match to make use of the dirty player so that they can get the injuries going. Only one guy in replacement to come in for the Chaos team, and so if injuries do sort of mount up, that may actually be the way that they can win this match. So Bretonnian team definitely not out of it. Let's see which way Nuffle will smile for today's match. This could be a close one though. Here goes the foul there, and definitely, like I said, since the Chaos team only has one guy in replacement to come in, just go and get the fouls in on anybody at this point, and we'll be able to get him out. Dirty player, no doubles on entry or the armor dice, and so that is going to be really great. Didn't even have to use the bribe, and we'll get the KO. That will let the Bretonnian team have a nice little numbers advantage. 11 on 9. Uh-oh, looks like the Beastman there. Oh, big injury there. Little Sam's gonna go down, and that's the other dirty player. Not a big deal here. We'll let that one go. No need to use the Apothecary. He's still got the other lineman here with that dirty player, so he's gonna be okay with that. And plus, he was pretty much expendable, but it is nice to have a guy that could roam around and could do the foul himself and maybe be able to cause some more injuries. So that's going to be a little bit of a breather here. Chaos team will take that because you darn better believe the Bretonnian team is all about getting those fouls down with their peasants. And not even just the dirty players, even the guys without the dirty players, they will lay the boot in whenever possible. And this is definitely the way you need to play the Bretonnian team. Those peasants, you should have plenty of them, not too expensive. And so you should be able to have a bunch of them on the bench there, and they will go out from time to time because of that armor value 7, right? So definitely you need them to come in, and you need plenty of them to come in, so might as well go get dirty player, get the fouls in, and make sure that you'll be able to ease the numbers advantage your way. And looks like the Bretonnian team is going to move up and still playing solid. No cage here because it's going to be watching out for the Wizard. Don't want to get fireballed or anything like that. Definitely want to just be playing solid. He's going to continue to have the +1 in Strength Man hold the ball. Don't want to give away too much. And with Beastmen with the horns, you never know which way a blitz may come out of nowhere. And so you have to play it a little bit solid, a little bit careful, and this is precisely what the Bretonnian team is doing. Don't want to give away too much. And exactly here, he's going to go put his guys there, and not too much fearing of the Wizard as of yet. Luckily, that Chaos team did get the injury, so they're going to be squaring up the numbers a little bit better. 2 KOs to an injury, but the injury, like I said, not a big deal here for this Bretonnian team. Offensively now, the Chaos team just needs to cut off anything for the Bretonnian team. Bretonnian team did not go and set their guys up for any passing plays whatsoever. Just wants to run it in like a good little Bretonnian team, not necessarily using the catch too much. But there are sometimes some people, whenever they do get doubles and things like that, might actually think about going for some pass skills and making a very viable passer to very viable catchers of the Bretonnian Knights there. And so in the long run, that might actually be able to work out in the favor for this Bretonnian team. But, you know, I like this setup right there. No need to get too fancy with the dice. No need to get the throwers in there. Bretonnian team could definitely more than handle their weight. Dauntless for their knights inherent, so they can definitely take on some of those bigger teams out there. And with wrestle on their guys, they already have a few ball hawks on the pitch. A lot of times people take that blodge ability, and so the block skill, not too much of a worry here for the wrestle ability. And so they could take down that ball carrier and get that ball out. Chaos team now is going to be on the right side, and the Bretonnian team playing their Bretonnian team offense. 7 movement allows for the blitzers, so they're plenty quick there on their feet. We will get that blitz in. We'll get the nice little defender down. Not too many hits, but that's all right. Bretonnian team will take what he can get. He does have his own piling on. Man there with that mighty blow. Not going to be able to break armor though. 10 plus on there. And actually a 9 would have been good enough because mighty blow would have added +1 to an injury roll or an armor value roll if necessary. But it looks like it's going to be unfortunately not necessary, and now it's going to be the Chaos team turn. He's going to see some base action. Chaos team just going to get in the faces here and get the blitz off. Looks like he's going to go and hit down some of this armor value 7, and we'll try to get down the dirty player. A big one here because he still has that bribe in hand, and anytime the Chaos team looks to be taking down a dirty player, it looks like he will try to do so. Armor value 7, so could actually be able to take him down a little bit easier. He does have that block for this Chaos Warrior, so he can get them down a little bit more easier. 2-die blocks even. Here comes the Bretonnian team, and he's going to get in range for the score. I don't think he's going to score it anytime soon. Does have a slight numbers advantage at this moment, so not too pressured. We'll get that hit off. We'll get that blitz. We'll get the defender down, died. Nice little armor value break coming up here, and a depth entry on Yalfagor. And let's see if JimmyFantastic wants to use the Apothecary, and it looks like it's a big negativo, and he's going to take the death. Just going to be on a block Beastman, and that's kind of what I'm talking about here. That is going to be 1 down, and only going to be the sure hands Beastman to come in. And now he's going to come in for the offense, and that's going to be a sure thing. But if the Bretonnian team could get some more injuries, then he may be able to turn this around on the Chaos team. A lot of people did favor the Chaos team to win it. In fact, I think everybody did, but it is not out of the realm of possibility for winning with the Bretonnian team. So far, so good. No Nuffle sticking his nose into the Bretonnian's business. And truthfully, it hasn't really poked out for the Chaos team either. Both teams even not really using any rerolls whatsoever, playing it extraordinarily safe. Here comes another armor value break and another increase, so this will cost, and Apothecary users cannot live without a Knight on the pitch, and he will get him back, and that's going to be great. That's the +1 in ability with the tackle blitzer, but I don't believe there's too many guys here on the Chaos team's turn, or Chaos team's side with that dodge ability, but definitely will be useful in the long run with the +1 in movement allowance. Nice little wrestle here. That's the nice thing about having wrestle. Instead of getting bashed, he's just going to be able to take down the Chaos Warrior, limit his movement, and take him a bit out of this fight. And the Bretonnian team should be able to maybe hold on to this ball one more turn. Maybe get a nice little blitz here, and then a nice little block over the top. And should still be able to screen off, I think. More wrestle saves here, and that's going to be okay-ish, but that does mean that this Chaos Warrior is going to be suddenly free, and so the Bretonnian team might actually be forced to score it if not too careful. Looks like he's going to get that blitz in. Beastman will get the defender down die. And a nice hit here. Nice little armor value break. Gonna KO a very dangerous Beastman. Piling on mighty blow with the claw. And that will take him out. And so holding the ball will be a lot easier. He's gonna get a nice little simple hit in. And the question is now, does he want to hold the ball? And it looks like he does. And that will mean that the Chaos team might be able to get a wizard off and then maybe follow up, but it looks like he's going to go and move his guy away. 1 in 9 chance of not dodging away. He does dodge away, so he's going to be able to square up the back left side. The Chaos Warrior would have totally been able to get that blitz in. And looks like no wizard usage, no dodging here into the backfield. And I like that call there. You don't want to use the wizard at this point because the follow-up is not a sure thing, and it's not desperation time, so no need to use it there. Just gonna go play it solid again and hold the wizard for quite possibly the end of the second half, and then maybe, just maybe, it may end up in going into overtime. And then that's when you'll be able to use that wizard to greater effect. Right now it's just too much right there. You don't want to put your entire game right there. And maybe it's not the entire game, but even if the wizard does come through, the ball will scatter, it'll get shot out, and then maybe you might get this dodge away right there. And even if you did get the dodge, you're not in exactly great spot to move the ball away. Now, if it was desperation time, yeah, sure, you go do the wizard, and you do the dodge, and you try to get the ball, and then maybe you don't throw it down deep or something like that, or maybe even punt it away. But at this point, there's just no real call for it, especially this deep in your own territory. Nice little Dauntless here, but I don't think he needed it because he had 2 assists on there, so Dauntless will activate regardless, I guess. Here comes the blitz here by the ball carrier. If he gets him down, then he might actually be able to hold the ball even further. Yes, that's exactly what he does right there, and he's going to have everybody squared away. Not fearing too much, but again, if the Chaos team really wanted to, he can play a little bit frisky and might try to dodge a couple of guys away and use the wizard to get to the ball, or maybe even just get a blitz off. So we'll see. And honestly, you don't even need to use the wizard. You can just play a little bit crazy right now with the Chaos team, dodge away, and then maybe be able to get it. And there we go. He will do a dodge, but it appears that he just wants to support this blitz there. Will be a 2-die. And he will get this hit in, so not going to be too worried about this touchdown. Still wants to get down a couple of more Bretonnian team, and he will stay in range, and therefore he will get piling on to boot. But luckily for the lineman there, he's just going to continue on with that stun. Oh boy, kind of lucked out a little bit there. And there we go, Chaos team will go and fail that dodge, wanting to get out of hidden range from the Bretonnian team, and it was a 4+ dodge, and was feeling good about not getting hit, and so, or not actually getting injured there. So it's going to take that fall here. And anyways, don't want to give them SPP, right? You don't want to give up the opponent, give it up to the Bretonnian team if you can help it. Here's the blitz here, and it's just going to be a nice little push, and Knight is going to continue to hold on to the ball. A couple more turns. Don't want to score too early there. And given that the Chaos team has played the way that they are playing at the moment, that means that JimmyFantastic has signaled that he does not want to get too crazy with the dice rolls. Doesn't want to get those dodges in there to try to attempt to pry the ball away from the Bretonnian Knights. There we go. It's going to put up a nice little screen away from the only guy that could possibly catch up to him. And that will pretty much end things there. It's going to be a pretty ho-hum first half, as the Chaos team is going to be content on hitting down the Bretonnian team, as the Bretonnian team is going to score it 1-0. And even if Nuffle shows up, I mean, I don't even think he'd be able to stop the score at this point. So JimmyFantastic going to be okay with this. And the Bretonnian team is going to also be alright with this as well. Wizard still in hand for JimmyFantastic, though. So if he plays it solid, plays it smart, try to get some injuries, whittle down the Bretonnian team, and grind it out. I mean, what greater grinder do you have but old JimmyFantastic? He's definitely going to grind it out on you and going to make you pay every step of the way. Any small advantages that he can get along the way, he will get it. And that's exactly what he's trying to do here. He's trying to get some more injuries here, trying to whittle down that Bretonnian team and making it to where he'll have the advantage going into overtime, most likely. Bretonnian team's not going to be content in scoring it too early. He's just going to go and get some hits, and I have seen this go awry more often than not, but I guess feeling good about his chances is going to get the hits in before the score. And I definitely don't blame him here, but again, I have seen those rolls go bad more often than not, and sensing that his luck might be over, he's just going to go and score right there. 1-0! Bretonnian team's going to get that lead going into the half, but it is going to be the Chaos team's possession half coming up. Round 8 coming up, though, at the end of the first half, so the Chaos team will have this chance to do some hits, and before too long, we're going to go speed that up a little bit. Chaos team loads of time, and with the security gate, no riot on the pitch is going to be available, and so don't need to worry about a 2-turn go if you're the Bretonnian team. Unless, of course, the Chaos team can do some whole bunch of chain pushes there with his guys, but honestly, it's not an easy thing to do, and you'll just be kind of wasting your time, more or less. So I do believe we're going to see a bunch of hits going into the end of the first half, as Chaos team is going to get 3-die blocks everywhere after the first block and get the foul in. I don't know if the Chaos team wants to do a foul at the end, but I kind of don't see why not. But at the same time, the foul wouldn't really do much, and you're kind of risking going down in numbers. So I don't think we might see the foul, but it really depends. Chaos team is would be down in numbers if he does get called out for the foul. And honestly, what are you fouling but just level 1 linemen, which the Bretonnian team has plenty of at the moment. So I don't think we'll see the foul here. 3-die block, and you will get the defender down die, and here's the big hit. And on the value 7, it's going to hold up for the time being. Nice little stun. And we're probably just going to see a vanity pass coming up. Yes, he's going to set up for it. And like I said, I don't think we're going to see a foul coming in. Going to be a 3+ pass, little gimme. And it looks like it's going to be inaccurate. So no foul is going to be caused. Like I said, he is down in numbers. And you don't want to give the Bretonnian team anything at this point. And as I said, end of the half, first half up 1-0. DemonTed looking good. And nice and solid, steady as she goes. But it is JimmyFantastic's possession half with the Chaos team. So we'll see if he's able to grind it out some more, get some injuries here against the Bretonnian team, and then maybe be able to take the advantage into the overtime period, which I'm sure this is more than likely going to go into. Now, like I said, guys, I have not seen any of these replays. I have not seen any of the plays at all. I don't know what's going on. All of this is just conjecture on my part. All I do know is just the score, and that's it. So we'll see. We'll see if that's going to be the case. But I don't see such a solid playing coach, and this is the good thing about playing against a solid coach. They're gonna play it safe most of the time and just grind it out on you, and you don't need to really worry about too much going on. Pitch evasion is going to be saved there by the security gates, holding back the crowd. And so with that, Chaos team now, they're going to begin their grind out. So they're just going to cage up hard. Going to try to get some injuries there again on the Bretonnian team, and then move on up. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special, but definitely it does win you more games than not. And honestly, in Blood Bowl, you kind of have to learn to play this very solid, very steady as she goes Blood Bowl, because a lot of times this is the way to go. This is the way you need to play. Not everybody's style. Some people just want to take some risk and get a little bit jiggy with it. But definitely look at this. He's going to get that big foul. It's going to be on that lineman here. And he's going to love that hit. And it's going to be the other dirty player. And so with the bribe in hand for DemonTed, all the future fouls will be done without any dirty player lineman. And that's great. 2 injuries. And it was exactly on the 2 dirty players. And like I said, the Bretonnian team did bring a bribe for this match. And when you think about it, perhaps the Bretonnian team may have lost out a little bit, I think. Because he should have done some more fouls there in the first half. Even if it was 1-man fouls, 2-man fouls, just do it. Just get that dirty player boot in. But I guess a little bit out of position with this guy, and didn't really get too many hits going into the end of the first half. And honestly, you want to just get the screen up and make sure that your ball carrier is okay. Nice little blitz, Dauntless, 2-dive block. And will be defender stumbles and armor value break. Lots of armor value breaks for both sides, but looks like Jimmy has been getting a little bit better of it with the 2 injuries, and the Bretonnian team only been able to get a couple of KOs and 1 death injury. So far so good though. Honestly though, if I was a Bretonnian team, I'd take that death injury. That's 1 less block Beastman, and plus it did make it to where the Chaos team can't afford to go down in numbers anytime soon. And so any KOs, anything like that later on, then that could be the end of all hopes. A little bit of a go for it roll, and wants to get to that ball. I don't blame the Bretonnian team, and unfortunately, oh gosh, that was a little bit of the opening here. Tried to get to the ball and wanted to get it against the tackle zone, and honestly, had he gotten there, the Chaos team, he would have still been able to get a blitz off with the tackle Beastman, but it would have been a little bit more worrisome because those dice, you need to get a defender down, defender stumbles, and it would have been a little bit difficult to take it out the hands of the Knights. And when they do get the ball, I mean, heck, he could have picked that ball up and then dodged away and then maybe throw it to the other Knight here, and then maybe been able to get a better screen up. So that would have been nice. But nope, not going to happen there. And it's okay. Even though the Bretonnian team did get a little bit nuffled there, it's not too bad. Not too bad, because the Chaos team is probably not going to score it anytime soon. Just going to play solid Blood Bowl. He's not going to go and sally up the field or anything and score it at the end or anything like that. He's just going to go and wait until the end of the half and score it. I mean, that's kind of the good thing about playing a solid coach. You kind of can expect how he's going to play it. And so these aggressive maneuvers here, he will be able to get his Knights back into defensive position, barring anything here. But looks like it's going to be okay. Nice little stun there. They should be able to get back up now. There's pretty much nothing further here. They should just get back into defensive position and try to hold off the Chaos team. But it looks like he's going to go and get the press here on the ball carrier position. A little bit of a blitz there, putting his Knights in a little bit of an awful position. Look at the blitz in, just going to be a push, and at that point he's like, okay, I've seen enough. Knight's going to move back. He's going to play a little safety, and that does cede the Chaos team loads of space now. He should be able to cage up real easily here up the right side. Miss on that dodge. I don't think we're going to see a reroll there, and that is it. 4+ on that because he tried some daring duo, but honestly, he is not gonna. He's not gonna have a real shot at making it there. Didn't use that reroll. He kind of knew it. We're gonna move up, and the way that everything's going right now, it is just business as usual. For old JimmyFantastic, gonna just be playing some nice head-on Blood Bowl and squeeze out any little advantage as he can. There we go, nice little support, and we'll be getting perhaps the blitz going on him. And it looks like he's going to try to set up the tackle mighty blow hit. Looks like that's what he's setting up for. He's kind of surrounding this knight. Oh, yes, yes. There we go. And actually, look at that. And that's kind of what I'm saying here is the Bretonnian team kind of put himself a little bit out of position here. And the knights are way in the back. He made the blitz, and he only came back to this position. Got the 3-die block. And he's now way out of position. And so, actually, the Chaos team now, seeing this, is going to try to maybe get some serves here. I mean, there's plenty of time on the clock for old JimmyFantastic. As you can see, not in a hurry to get this touchdown. So any little misposition, any little advantage he can squeeze out of you, then he will. So at this point, this knight needs to dodge away. I mean, he's got a nice little square to dodge out, but it's going to be going backwards and away from the defense of his touchdown area, and that's kind of the thought here for Jimmy. He's gonna have to make this dodge, and there we go, and he does, and he's gonna have to move away, and he's in a terrible spot. I mean, yeah, he doesn't get surfed, but now that's one less defender in between the ball carrier and the touchdown area. Nice little foul here, and then yeah, see, finally he's getting these one-man fouls in. I mean, gosh. And that's it. So as you can see now, Chaos team in the driver's seat. He's got a few Bretonnian teams to get through, but honestly, like I said, he is winning the positional battle at this point. Very nice, very solid coach here. And you just have to, in a way, to beat Jimmy here, you almost have to outplay him. I mean, you have to. And you kind of have to watch out of any little positioning flaws that you may have. And there you go, Cage. You would think that maybe it'd go down the right side, but nope. He's just going to go here, get a little solid, get a little protection around his guys, and pave the way with his Chaos Warriors as per the usual for the Chaos team. Get behind your big 4-strength guys. Square up with the Beastmen, you'll be fine. There you have it. And then the place where it's a little bit loose, you have the Chaos Warrior standing right there in the way of anything. No need to fear any cage dives by the Bretonnian team. So at this point, looking good. Bretonnian team though. Now he should be able to get his guys back up. They're going to be able to maybe get back into position at this point though. The Chaos team should be moving it up here to the left side. It's going to be turn 13. And so with just 4 more turns left, we should start moving up the ball. Look at that. They're just so out of position. After aggressively moving out like that, when he had a chance, he definitely should have went back. He should not have tried to pursue that blitz, especially against the solid nature of this coach. Probably should have went back, put up a screen, and at the end make the Chaos team prove it. Make the Chaos team spend the wizard at this point and score his touchdown. If anything, the Bretonnian team needs to do is to somehow force the wizard use. And if he scores a touchdown, then that's fine. But if he goes into overtime with the wizard in hand, then it's all in the advantage of the Chaos team. And there you go. He's just going to simply move up his cage on the left side, given that the Bretonnian team a little bit out of position there, and immediately just takes advantage. As you can see, just every little bit just piling up, adding up. It's almost all too easy. Bretonnian team should be able to just catch up here at the end, maybe. But these Chaos Warriors are going to probably make it a little bit difficult for him. But it looks like he's just going to get that push away. Not going to step through. Doesn't want to get hit himself. And so just going to be poking at him. Cage is probably going to get stifled now. Let's see here. Should be able to get this blocker over the top. But he's going to be falling short. Probably around here-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Without any go full rolls. Knights aren't necessarily in position yet. I mean, like, these guys are your staple here, and they're over here. They're all like in the center and way back here. They're not even in front of the cage. Running out here. Look, he's gonna get him right around here. He's gonna touch the Chaos Warrior, but that's okay. He's going to get the blitz in, and I think, honestly, this is quite possibly the only thing that the Bretonnian team can do at this point. Needs to get him down, he does. And will be able to touch the ball carrier, so he needs to get a second guy touching if he really wants to make sure that he makes this a little bit more uncomfortable. He goes and ties up that Beastman in the back, and he should get another guy over here, maybe do the dodge over and get another guy. That will definitely make it a little bit better. Because the Knight can move up. Should see maybe at that? No, okay, he's going to move the Knight to right here. I really would have liked him to have two guys touching the ball carrier instead of one. Now all he needs to do is get the blitz in with the Horns Beastman, which is quite easy to do. And there you go. Ball carrier. He's free. And that's it. Jimmy's probably going to float back with his guy. Yeah, there we go. And just cage up yet again. He's got plenty of guys. Get the hits here. Bretonnian. I'd say both sides have played extremely solid thus far. But can you outplay the Chaos team's coach, JimmyFantastic? That's the question right now. So far, so good. Chaos team is looking a lot better. I wouldn't say a lot better, but definitely a bit better. Nice little hit. Chaos team squeezing every bit out of this. It's like making orange juice. Making the orange juice. And he's just going to keep his guys close together and guard against any of the blitz throughs or anything like that for the time being. Looks like he will get blitzed over the top here. And this is the top of the cage. And you look at the KO, and that's going to be great. That's what the Bretonnian team needs. Get some people down, and he will touch that ball carrier yet again. But won't be able to get somebody back in there. And so it's going to start making it a little bit uncomfortable now. Chaos team now needs to somehow prove this, and the Bretonnian team has now made it a little bit more complicated, which is great. One die block, and just going to be a skull on that, and maybe should have re-rolled that, but does not, and that's extremely too bad. I don't even know if he had a chance there to re-roll that, but I don't think he used the re-roll in that last bit here. And so probably should have used that reroll there, because if anything happens, like getting KO'd or something like that, that's the big Knight on the pitch. And so that actually makes the Chaos team's job a lot easier with that one die block. Heck, I almost think he probably shouldn't have done that one die block. I mean, that guy was holding up everything. Now the position is opened up a little bit better here for the Chaos team. There's his reroll, and he will get the push at least, and it will be a nice little surf here coming up. Gonna be with the ball carrier even, and this is okay by him. He's gonna stay away from the side. No side cages here for the Chaos team. Big to take down yet another Knight, because all you really need to do is take down the Knights of the Bretonnian team, and they're the big pillars here of this team. And there goes another guy going down with an injury, and that's just going to be a stun, but he might as well be out for the rest of the half, because just going to be 2 more turns left, and so won't be able to get him back. Just going to get him back just in time for him to see the Chaos team scored at the end. Turn 16 coming up, though, and so Jimmy needs to make sure that he has some pathways down. Bretonnian team, unfortunately, a whole bunch of guys are stunned here, and so he's not going to be able to get a nice defense going for him. Just going to try to hold it up with 3 of the Knights there in the backfield. Where's your 4th one, brother? Oh, he got knocked out by one die skull. Well, he does get that stun on that Beastman. That will be great, but honestly, this should be an easy give and go here. Little blitz here on this left side. Heck, the Beastman could do it all by himself with the Horns Bliss, and then after that, walk it in for the touchdown at the end. 1, 2, 3, and as long as Jimmy doesn't get knuffled there with back-to-back ones, or one fail, re-roll, and then another one, then he should be A-okay. Looks like he's going to make some space there on the right side, wanting to get the hits in, so that's what he's going for at this point. still continue to try to get these hits. But again, I've seen this go quite bad. But again, what's the chances, right? But if he gets skulled there, 1 in 36 shot of that happening, then he won't have any rerolls for the go for it rolls. Oh, actually, the way he's positioned himself, he kind of stoppered himself up a little bit. Stoppered him up a little bit. He's gonna have to go along the left side. Okay, it's open, but he needs to get this hit in. Okay, okay, there we go. I was like, wait, did the Knight's get in the way there? And luckily, he did get this Knight out the way because he would have got stoppered up there. So, Chaos Team was able to pry away that Knight. Oh boy, man. Luckily, it was just a push on the die because that Knight would have been totally standing in the way. And he couldn't have gone right because the way that the Chaos Team had put his guy there to the right of the Beastman, he would have lost one movement allowance going around him. So he had to go left at that point. So a little bit of a small, slight miscalculation there almost cost Jimmy, I think. But no problem. He did get the hit in and did break the armor, thankfully. And luckily, the Knight there on the left side did get broken on the armor. As you can see there, quick little replay. The Knight is right there after being honestly hit into that position. So he's in the way, and as you can see here, this Chaos Warrior, he blocks the right. He cannot go around this right here, so he's taking away the right side because of this Chaos Warrior. So he kind of needs to get him down. If this ends up being a push, and then after that the Beastman here only gets a push, it would be a little bit more uncomfortable. Let's see here. Stop with the animations. Stop with the animations. Yeah, because these guys stop moving, right? So he can only go straight or left. He can't go to the right because then he's spent his. Then he won't have enough movement allowance to get to the end. So he can only go straight. So if this guy stay up and he pushes him there, he would have had to make a dodge to get, and then 2 go for it rolls there to get the touchdown. So it was a little bit lucky, a little bit. I guess this would have been okay if he would have stood up because it would have been all hinging on this attack here. Because if he gets him down, then he could just push him away, and then he could just go like this. Oh, but then the Knight's right here. Oh man, so a little bit of a miscalculation there because yeah, as you can see earlier, that Knight wasn't in the way. He could have just needs to get a blitz. Even he could just do the blitz with the ball carrier even. Well, no, he can't. Oh yeah. I mean, he could get the hit in there. Yeah, he can get this little hit in there, and then he can get this hit here. He can actually get this hit in like this, because this is a 2-die block. And then even if this is okay, then that's okay. You can still get the blitz in with this guy. Worst come to worst. Yeah. And then this guy's already going to be taken away with the tackle zone with the Chaos Warrior. Whoa. A little bit of a small misplay here, but that's okay. That's okay. He got the injury there, and afterwards was able to pry away this man there. So there we go. Chaos Warrior, get the nice little hit in. And now he should be okay after this hit, because even if this is a push, that's okay. Boy, a little bit lucky there, a little bit. He could not afford any pushes on the die roll. Wow, a little bit optimistic, I'd say. And yeah, this ends up being a push, but right into that area, and so he should be able to make that touchdown. But boy, if that was a push too, guys. Uh-oh, now what? 1-1 though. As you can see there, Chaos Team just grinds it out on you. He's not afraid of going into OT, and with the security gate, no need to worry about any riots or anything like that. And so Bretonnian team now just kind of has to hope for the coin flip to go his way. Big injuries here. This is exactly what the Chaos Team is looking to do. So 3 guys are out, but luckily the Bretonnian team, lots of guys to come in let's go ahead and fast forward this, and the Bretonnian team now will get his hits in before anything, and then hopefully get some injuries here on this Chaos team because he needs it. If he can go up on numbers at the end, that would be very choice. So far, so good. Chaos team, he only had one guy to come in from the bench. And so, as you can see, just 10 guys now on the pitch for the Chaos team. And that's great. If the Bretonnian team go into the overtime period with that numbers advantage, he'll definitely take it. Both teams are going to get a reroll, and so both teams now are going to be benefiting from that. 3 rerolls each. Both teams playing very solidly. But can the Bretonnian team hold on? Will Nuffle give the Bretonnian team a chance at the end? If he can get the overtime coin flip, then it might be enough, but luckily again, Chaos team was not forced to use that wizard there, and honestly almost did there at the end. Had that maybe been a push, then perhaps the lightning bolt would have came out, and unfortunately the Bretonnian team did not do enough to force that lightning bolt usage there at the end. So now it's going to OT, and even if the Bretonnian team does get the ball with the wizard in hand, the Chaos team can definitely turn it around, and barring Nuffle with a 1 on the die for a lightning bolt, or not getting enough on the dice roll for the resist on the fireball or something like that, then this could be all but over. But at this time, Bretonnian team still has a shot now. Little vanity pass, and we'll get the 1 SPP for his troubles, and we are going to go into overtime period. And if you guys don't know out there, overtime period is a sudden death. Whoever is going to score the first touchdown will win it. And then after 24 turns, if nobody is able to score it, then we just go into kickoffs, and both sides will have a shot at kicking the ball 1 time. But if one side misses and the other one makes it, then that will be the game over. And it looks like here, yes, Chaos team wins the toss, and he will have the favor to win it. And with the wizard in hand and the offense, Bretonnian team needs to do something a little bit crazy. So here we go. No longer able to continue to play, and this is actually a non-factor, sweltering heat, because it does make it to where at the end of the possession, everybody has to roll a die roll, and if you get a 1 on the die, then your guy is out. But there's going to be no more possessions, so that's a non-factor. Sweltering heat, not a big deal. Actually, the first time in the tournament that we've seen that. Big injury there on the front line. Lineman's going to go down, and with the KO personnel coming back for the Chaos team, he is now going to have the numbers advantage. A little bit of a reroll usage there, but he'll definitely go and use it there. And the Chaos team is absolutely looking pretty good now. Get some hits in. Fend is going to save any of this piling on mighty blow nonsense. And truthfully, right, I mean, if people were afraid of piling on, you get Fend. That totally negates the piling on. So I don't know what people's, I don't know why they feel the need to nerf piling on, as it were, on the tabletop version, guys, because Fend totally negates it. But I guess how many times, how many people does take Fend, right? Not too many. But if you're afraid of you guys getting hurt, there you go. Here we go. Bretonnian team does need to get aggressive and does need to pressure the ball carrier, does need to force the wizard usage as early as possible so that he can maybe be able to garner some defense in the backfield and force the Chaos team to maybe do something a little bit crazy at the end. Nice little KO here will open things up and will be able to touch the ball carrier. But to really put the heat on the ball carrier, you need to pressure him twice, or either that, make it to where you screen off your guy touching the ball carrier and make him do the blitz. So this might not be enough, but at least the blitz will be used on the knight and not trying to open up holes here in the front line, not targeting for some odd reason with a Mighty Blow personnel on somebody, so that is going to be great. Here's the wizard uses right there. Wow, he's going to use the wizard right here, and now doesn't want to use any blitzes there by the Beastman. And with the sidestepper here, doesn't want to risk too much here, but I really feel like, boy, man, you know, he could have maybe had. Well, the wizard is used and did get away from that sidestepper, so that's gonna be nice. But if that wizard would have got a 1 on there, would this be a different game? But he's gonna be okay now. Beastman, he's gonna walk in there and get his cage set up. And at this time, again, Chaos Team just needs to square it up, get that cage going. And it's going to be all on this blitzer, I think, with the sidestep. He needs to jump in there and make it a lot more uncomfortable for this Chaos Team to deal with. Just like he did just there. Nice Chaos Warrior hit. It's going to be on a Knight even. And anytime those Knights go down for the Bretonnian team, it's just like, my Knights. My Knights in Shining Armor. Turn 18, we're going to see more blitz here done by the sidestepping Knight to try to get into the face of the ball carrier here. And nice hit, and that's going to be great. Another KO. Bretonnian team looking pretty good now. He's going to be able to hit back. And that's kind of what I'm saying here in the beginning of the game. Beastman there with the armor value 8. They should fall down at times and open things up for the Bretonnian team. And with the Chaos Team not with a huge bench at this time, might be able to capitalize. He will get that hit in, and he will go and touch the ball carrier. As you can see there, he needs to go and tie up this guy there, and then maybe this guy here to make this ever more uncomfortable. And he kind of can't blitz with the ball carrier at this time. Sidestep will make it to where he'll continue touching him, and this is going to be very uncomfortable now. We get the 2-die block here. And should be able to swing this guy around with the tackle maybe. There we go. He's going to go and cover up that space here. And then get the blitz on here. And then if it does end up being just a couple of pushes, and it does, then the sidestep will have to sidestep away from the cage. I see right there. So pretty good stuff. Is able to find a little bit of combination, but that does mean that the cage is stifled for the time being. And that's exactly what you need to do. Stifle up the cage. This Chaos Team, Bretonnian team now did force the wizard usage, and so at this time doesn't need to play as aggressively, just needs to put up a screen and then try to make something happen whenever it is opportune. So he doesn't need to get this aggressive, but I can't blame him. The gas is already going to be pressed down, so he can't help himself at this point. 1-die block, but just a push. He will get the ball carrier pushed out, and might be able to get a blitz in now. Yes, he's going to be able to. Should be able to get a 1-die block here at the very least, but it's going to be a 2-die block, and he will be able to get a defender stumbles, and that's big time plays here. KO. That is very nice indeed. And the ball is going to scatter in a okay spot for both guys, actually. Still in some tackle zones of the Chaos Team, so the Chaos Team's not too worried about that. And the Bretonnian Team's like, okay, that's just enough, but not enough to put his guys in there, and he won't be able to hit anyone on top of it to try to scatter it again yet. But the Chaos Team now, the ball is going to be on the ground. It is looking a little bit more difficult now, and a little bit more shrouded for this win here coming up for either side. It is anybody's ball game at this point. Chaos Warrior will get the nice hit in, KO, and finally gonna get the numbers going towards the way of the Chaos Team now. Chaos Team suffered a whole bunch of KOs, as you can see there on the left side, only one for the Bretonnian Team. So the numbers is looking still in the way of the Bretonnian Team, but now another big armor value break and a big injury there on the Knight, and that will help big time. Claws did make the successful hit, and that's going to be on the 4 strength Knight even, and that's going to be a huge thorn out of the way. Ball now is going to be easily picked up, or will it? And he's going to have to use that reroll there. We'll get 1 and 9 there, but thankfully the scatter in a great spot here for this Chaos team, but Bretonnian team still has the slight numbers advantage on the pitch, so he might actually be able to get to the ball. He will start off with this hit, and will be able to get an assist there, so should be able to get a block and push the Beastman at least into the ball carrier. 1 die block, and that didn't go too well, but a both down die will mean a wrestle, and that is going to be the reroll used right then and there. So here comes the blitz on the Chaos Warrior, and he will get the defender down die. That's really great for him, and with this should be able to get his guy in better range here. Gonna go up and tie up the Beastman. 1 die block coming up, and it's gonna be another skull. Oh man, what disaster here for this Bretonnian team. Needed to at least just get a push, just 1 push here, and then hope like crazy the scatter goes left, but unfortunately that isn't the case. He should be able to get this guy down, get this guy away from the ball, and anybody here of the Chaos team should be able to pick this ball up yet again. Agility 3 for everybody here on this Chaos team. That's the nice thing about playing the Chaos team. Agility 3 for everybody except for the Minotaur, but he's not on the pitch right now. 1 die block and a both down. And a wrestle? No, he's not going to use the wrestle there. Will cost a turnover, and that is beautiful. 1 die block doesn't work out. And the Bretonnian team does have a chance now. A bigger one now, even better than the last one. Should just get the blitz here. And pry away the Beastman. He does. And just needs to pick this ball up against the tackle zone. A 4+ pickup. He gets the 5. He needs to dodge away. He's got dodge. And he does dodge away. No 1 and 9s here. Bretonnian team. He's looking good. Oh, big time plays here. Bretonnian team. Will he be able to pull it off? Chaos team needs to try to stop that Bretonnian Knight. And oh boy, this is gonna be a little bit more difficult here to take down, but at least the Beastman can make the dodge. At least it should be still a 2 die block here, but he needs everything to come through. And there we go. He's gonna open up a little bit right there, and he will get the blitz in. It will be a tackle blitz in, and that is tremendous. Sidestep away, and he's gonna go and sidestep away from everything else, piling on to boot. Wants to get that dangerous Knight out of there. Scatter is gonna be okay for both sides, but a little bit better I think for the Chaos team, because he should be able to get this hit in. 1 die block works out okay, and now another 1 die block, no 2 die block, and ooh, skulls there, and that will be the it for the rerolls for the Chaos team. He still has 1 more guy that can maybe pick this ball up, but he's gonna have to go for a roll. Oh my gosh, go for a roll, missed. Oh no, the ball is going to scatter yet again. And oh, a really great scatter for the Bretonnian team. And so just needs to get this Beastman out of there. Should be able to get a nice little blitz coming over the top. Just going to stand over his guys and get the blitz over the top. Should be able to get it. And here we go. Nice hit coming up. Just needs to get a defender down to finish those, but doesn't get either one of those. And so just a push. Still going to continue marking the ball. Again, a 4+ pickup. He's going to try it. No, he's going to just mark that ball up for the time being. But I don't know about this. I kind of would rather him try to just get aggressive with it, because this is an easy blitz away. But at least he still got sidestep. So I guess feeling good about the blitz. Oh boy, right now, even blocks aren't working out for this Bretonnian team. Skulls here, and this could be anybody's game. Looks like the Chaos Warrior, he's going out for the fly just in case. You never know. And the Bretonnian team just has 1 guy marking it up at this point. Is this do or die? Here, we don't want to go into kickoffs. This is what Jimmy's saying, because he's pretty much had the advantage throughout this match. A small one, but a small one nonetheless. It's gonna be a defender down die, and it will be a big injury. He's given everything he's possibly could give to this match, and he will get the pickup. No more rerolls, and Bretonnian team, he just needs to cut this guy off in the pass. Don't need him to get away from anything, but we'll see. Oh boy, will everything work out? He just needs to stop this man from scoring there. Blitz with the 2-die block, and oh boy, just a both down die, so he's not going to attempt any dodge, and oh, he's not going to go and dodge out and try something. Oh boy, at least try the dodge. Oh no. Oh, but oh boy, inaccurate there. Needed a 5+ on that throw, and we are going into kickoffs. Oh boy. Oh man. Bretonnian team had a big shot there. Had a big shot, but we are definitely going into overtime kickoffs. And, well, I mean, I wouldn't say definitely, because the blocker here, he's in range, and maybe he can do a 6+ pass to this yeoman. Maybe, I don't know, not yeoman, the lineman there, the peasant. Well, he's out of range, so never mind. 1-1 penalty shootout coming up. Uh-oh. Jimmy could actually just plain lose it there, because the Bretonnian team, things had been going pretty bad, but now it's just 50-50 at this point. Nice little kick in, and the Chaos team does make his kick. And here we go, Bretonnian team's turn. He does have a team reroll, and I don't know if he uses it there. Unfortunately, it doesn't show me, but it is now 1-1, so the Bretonnian team did have the advantage going in. And again, the rules are both sides get a kick, and if one side makes it, then the other one needs to make it as well. But if one side misses it, the other side needs to make it, and then whoever does that will win it. So at this point, still 2-2, and with the rerolls, it does add +1 to the kickoffs through the field goal post. So Bretonnian team actually has the advantage in these kickoffs. 3-2 now on the penalty score. Chaos team, without any rerolls, is kicking it like nobody's business. And as you can see, all the rerolls has been used now. All the +1s for the Bretonnian team. So now it's pretty much 50-50. 3-3 now. Oh man, if the Chaos team misses it here, it could be the end of these playoffs for JimmyFantastic. But it's 4-3. All of his guys cooking very well. And the Bretonnian team, the Knight, he steps up. He gets the kick. 4-4 now. The most I've ever seen it go was 10-10, in which Lupak's game went all the way down to the wire. And nice kick here. Oh boy, when you're hitting it like that, it's just like the field goal posts are so big. And now the Bretonnian team needs to make his kick, or he's going to straight up lose it. And he misses it. Bretonnian team actually going into the kickoff penalty with 2 rerolls with the advantage, actually loses it there at the end. 2-1 is gonna be your score. JimmyFantastic pulls it out when he had the tremendous disadvantage going in. Oh man, throughout the whole match, it was just about small advantages, getting just here and there, grinding it out JimmyFantastic's way, getting every little bit out of the position, just squeezing it out, getting small injuries here and there, getting the advantage, but was unable to convert there at the end after a nice little push combination, opened things up, put the ball on the ground, and gave the Bretonnian team a chance, a just one chance at winning the ball game straight out. But unfortunately, even with the +2 in rerolls at the kickoffs, would not be the advantage the Bretonnian team needed. So with that, JimmyFantastic moves on. Armor value breaks 25 for the Chaos team, 17 for the Bretonnian team. 8 injuries being inflicted on the Bretonnian team, whereas only 7 for the Buckets. And this is the biggest difference here. The injuries over the KOs. Had the Bretonnian team been able to get more injuries, and heck, even if this was a little bit more fair, like 4 for the injuries and 4 injuries here on the bucket side, well, that meant that the Chaos team would have been down in numbers. But unfortunately, the KOs kept coming, and the Bretonnian team never really felt like they were in contention at any real point in the game until the very end. As you can see there, SPP wise, going the way of the Chaos team, and moreover, as you can see, Bretonnian team takes the fall. And hey, my predictions are looking good though, but just barely. Chaos team is going to win it and go on to the semifinals, and he'll face off against the winner between the Wood Elf team of Anarian or the High Elf team of Cody Hockey Hawking. So thanks for joining me, guys. Holy crap, if this is the way that the rest of the tournament is going to go, I can't wait. All of the Champions Cup playoffs right here on my Twitch channel. I'll be porting some of the better ones over to my YouTube channel, so if you want to check out some more of the Blood Bowl and all the Champions Cup playoffs, you can go and check out my YouTube channel. It is going to be there as well, VG Purist on there. Hit my follow button if you like what you see here. Subscribe if you are going to go over to the YouTube channel, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Oh man, more to come. Tomorrow, I believe we are going to see another team play. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.